Welcome to DMV Stream. This is episode 3 for DMV Capital Hoops Live on DMV Stream. Just a little broadcast announcement before we get started with Week 3's festivities. DMVSTREAM.COM broadcasts pro, amateur, college, high school, AAU, and youth games in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, live to televisions, computers, mobile devices, and so much more. Find out about DMV Stream by going to the website www.DMVSTREAM.COM. I want to welcome everyone back for Week 3. We've got a bunch of highlights to go over. We've got in my opinion, is the dunk of the year in the DMV. I was lucky enough to be at that game and film that dunk. It was by Jabril Faulkner Jr. from Roosevelt in the district, and it was an amazing dunk, and you'll be seeing that later in the show. We're going to go through standings, just going to go through some highlights of some of the games I went to this week, and then we've got our trivia question. This week I'm going to put the trivia question up first so that you guys have time to try to find the answer to the trivia question. I actually wrote the trivia question down so you can take a picture of it with your phone so you can know what to look for when you're trying to look that up. So the trivia question. Here is this week's trivia question. So, as everyone knows, this weekend is NBA All-Star Weekend. On Friday and Saturday, there's the rookie-sophomore game. On NBA Saturday night, there are four games. We have the dunk contest, the three-point contest, the skills challenge, and the Shooting Stars Challenge. So, basically, what I'm looking for is this. There are 4 participants in NBA Saturday night. Again, that's the dunk contest, the three-point contest, the skills contest, and the Shooting Stars contest. There's 4 players who played their high school basketball in the DMV who are participating in this event. Now, I'm going to give you a hint for each player, and you need to answer all 4 players. You can answer them by tweeting them to me. My Twitter name is @CapitalHoops. That's CapitalHoops. So here's your 4 hints. One of the players went to a school in the DMV that does not exist anymore. One of the players went to a school in the DMV but transferred in the middle of his senior year, and he did not graduate from that high school, but he played for that high school for at least 1.5 seasons and was a tremendous player for them while he was here. The last hint, the other 2 guys went to the same high school. So there's your hints. Now remember, with Capital Hoops, we consider the DMV DC, Maryland, Virginia, and Baltimore. So there could be some Baltimore schools that are in this answer. So we're looking for the 4 contestants that are taking place in the dunk, three-point skills, and Shooting Stars contest that went to high school in the DMV. This show should go for about another 25 minutes or so. So you got 25 minutes to get your answers to me. First one to get it correct gets either a Capital Hoops t-shirt or a DVD of any high school game that we've filmed this year. So, without further ado, I think the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to kind of see where Capital Hoops has been for the last week. For the last week, Capital Hoops has been, around the DMV, different high schools every night. So, we're going to show you some highlights of each of the games that we filmed through the week, and we're going to start off with last Tuesday night. It was the number 1 and number 2 teams in the area, and they happen to be number 1 and number 2 teams in the WCAC at that point in time. Rankings have since switched. So we're going to give you a little highlight package and then some interviews from some players on the winnings teams between Gonzaga and O'Connell. This game was last Tuesday, and it was at Bender Arena at the American University campus. So here's some highlights from that game.
6'2" sophomore, number 1, Bryant Crawford. And the 6'6" senior, number 2, Chris Jenkins. A 6'7" senior, number 23, Junior Itu. And a 6'2" junior, number 10, Memo.
Execute and play like we've been playing all year. Play Gonzaga basketball, play.
So those were some highlights from the Gonzaga game. There's a nice little Chris Jenkins step back crossover at the end there that had Junior E2 falling down. Now we're going to do a couple interviews with Chris Jenkins and with Bryant Crawford.
Mark, help each other out, pick each other up when we're down. And, when we do those things, we're a really good team.
When you say Gonzaga basketball, what does that mean?
Play hard, play smart, play together, take charges, box out, rebound, get the next guy open. Just do all the little things that matter.
Told me that I was going to get a steal in the next 2 plays, and they've been passing the ball to the high post all game, so I just cheated the play, got the steal, and all I saw was light. Went for the fast break dunk. The game, like we post any other game, we executed all right. We could have did a little bit better, but for real, we just took this game as it was any other game and try to hold our number 1 spot, and that's what we did.
All right, so that was Gonzaga, who is still undefeated in WCAC play. We'll get to standings here in a few minutes, and we'll go through all the standings of the big conferences here in the DMV. Next, we want to take you out to a big game this past Thursday night. Theodore Roosevelt, only undefeated school in the city of Washington, D.C. They were playing Riverdale Baptist. Now, as a lot of people know, Riverdale has been playing without a few of their key players. They had 3 guys suspended for 5 games. No concrete reason. Some people say they didn't turn an assignment in on time. Some people say it was just, academics wasn't what they wanted it to be, and they wanted to concentrate on academics. Anyways, those players apparently were reinstated tonight. I have not gotten the official word if they did play tonight, but in this game against Roosevelt, they didn't play, but it also just so happened that Roosevelt, 2 of their starters, didn't play either. Tavon Alexander, he's like the power forward on their team, and Everett Quick, I guess you'd call him maybe the 3 on that team. Both didn't play. Alexander suspended for a game. Everett Quick had an injury. right above his eye, got popped. He had blood coming out of it. It was rather gruesome. That was a couple weeks ago. I was there when that happened. So Everett still has stitches over his eye. They are expecting both of those guys back tomorrow night when they play against Coolidge in that big DCI AA showdown. So here are highlights from a phenomenal game Thursday night, Riverdale at Roosevelt, and this is the game that had, in my opinion and in many opinions, the dunk of the year in the DMV so far to date.
Number 42 at center, Number 2, Johnny.
Going to the corner, he got trapped, and he had no outlet leak. So I just kind of got the arm reach and go to the rim. I saw a little guy there, so I just kind of tried to jump over him. All year, I wasn't really jumping, so this year I kind of on the bench that had to need to step up, me included. So we just started going there, play together, play hard, and then Everett and Tavon, he was on the bench giving us information of what we weren't doing. So that's what the team takes to win a game.
How do you guys build off this one? I know you're 19-0 now.
We're 20-0 now. We're 20-0. We're just gonna keep going out there, play hard to the end of the fight. And we're a strong team, and the people that are coming back next year, we're gonna be even stronger.
We knew we had to defend. We played them over the summertime. We lost. We ain't defend that well, so we knew we had to come in this game and defend hard. We knew we could beat them like that.
Do you think your role changed at all tonight, being that Tavon and everyone won the game?
I had to step it up.
In what capacity?
At both ends, off scoring, rebounding, defending, everything.
There was one little stretch where they had finally taken a lead, and you hit 2 threes in about a 20-second span. Talk about that little stretch right there.
I mean, we got a great point guard at Johnny, and he found me, and I was ready to shoot.
All right. So that was Mike Warren that we were just speaking to there, and Jabril Faulkner. I hope you guys liked the dunk from Jabril. Was a pretty big facial there. On Friday night, we went out to see Murray play against St. James. St. James is from Hagerstown, Maryland. St. James features one of the best juniors in the area, Obi Echechinoya. Obi, he's got a little brother who's a senior, but Obi is the real deal. Had an incredible summer last summer. Didn't have particularly a great game against Murray. Finished with only 15 points. He did pull down 14 rebounds and block 7 shots, but this game was ugly. At the end of the first quarter, Murray led 20-2. Yes, 20-2. So we're going to show you a quick highlight package of that game. Like I said, it wasn't much of a game, but definitely want to let you guys see some of these Murray players. So here's some Murray St. James from Friday night. Hoops here with Murray point guard Marlon Beck. Murray, big win out there tonight. Got St. James by about 20. They're not having particularly that great of a year, but they got a couple very good players over there. Talk about the win tonight.
It was a big win for us. We knew it was going to be a tough game coming out. We got off to a great start. We were winning 20-2 at the end of the first. We know they got a couple of big players, so we keyed in on them, but we didn't let them get in the way of what we were trying to do. So we finished out good.
You guys have, 2 more games in your conference this season, and you finish up with Riverdale?
Yes.
You guys are undefeated in the conference right now. Talk about, what you're going to need to do to win these last 2 conference games. Not great opponents, but, you can't overlook anything.
Yeah, I mean, our conference is overlooked, but in this conference you really can't take anyone lightly. We play Potomac next, then we got GDS senior game. So it's going to be they're both big games. Then we finish off with Riverdale. We're trying to go undefeated in the MAC, and then to top it off with Riverdale, we're really not trying to mess up anything we got going now. So we know it's going to be a big game. We're really looking forward to it, but we got to take one game at a time.
And then after Riverdale, I think you just told me that you guys qualified for, what is it?
The DC State Tournament.
DC State Tournament?
Yeah, DC City Tournament.
What is that exactly?
Basically, it's the first year they're going to take top teams out of DC, and we're having our own tournament for, the whole city. So it's going to be like us, Theodore Roosevelt, I think St. John's, maybe Gonzaga. It's basically a lot of the top teams in the area, and championships at Verizon Center. So we're really excited about that.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you. Good work out there, and we'll see you when the postseason starts.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate that.
All right. So that was Murray and St. James. Before we get to our Saturday highlights of Montrose Christian and Coolidge, I'm going to ask this trivia question one more time. I haven't had any answers yet. So here's the question. NBA All-Star Saturday night. That's this Saturday night. Slam dunk contest, 3-point contest, the skills challenge, and the shooting stars contest, which is 1 NBA player, 1 NBA legend, and 1 WNBA player. There are 4 participants that will be participating in NBA Saturday night. Name the 4 players who played their high school basketball in the DMV who will be participating in All-Star Saturday night. And I got a hint for you for each one of them. One of them went to a school that doesn't exist anymore. Think Kensington, Maryland. One of them went to a school where he was very good, but didn't graduate. He transferred midway through his senior year. Think Montrose Christian. And then 2 guys went to the same high school and played the same position, but one of them went there about 6, 7, 8 years prior to when the other one went there. Maybe even 10 years prior to when the other one went there. And that school is in Baltimore. The last 2. The 2 players who are playing in the Shooting Stars contest both went to the same high school in Baltimore. I've given you more than enough clues and hints. You guys should definitely be able to get this question. So let's have someone tweet me with the answer at Capital Hoops. First one gets a DVD of any game this year. Your choice that we've filmed. All right, back out to the highlights. Saturday night, Montrose Christian played one of their few home games of the season.
At center, a 6'8" senior.
It was Montrose against Coolidge of DC. Last year, Coolidge upset Montrose, one of the biggest upsets of the year. So obviously, payback was on the minds of Montrose. This gym was held.
Number 11, David Kadiri.
This gym was held at Montrose Christian's gym. This gym holds 150 people, probably the smallest high school gym in the DMV, which just makes the atmosphere that much better. It just gets rocking in there. And, to be honest, Montrose Christian hasn't had a great year this year. So there hasn't been a lot of opportunity to go out and see Montrose. So this will give you a good idea of Montrose Christian basketball.
This coming Wednesday, February 13th, as they take on Cesar Chavez. That game is at Cesar.
as you can see, Montrose is big. Montrose starting five goes about 6'10", 6'9", 6'7", 6'6", and 6 foot. I mean, they've got to have one of the biggest teams in the country. They've got bigger guys that come in off the bench. I mean, they could potentially go 6'6", and everyone else on the court 6'9" or bigger. They're a huge team. They're finally coming together. They had some bad losses early in the season, but they're finally starting to come together. Next thing I did for you guys, I put together a little plays of the week. It's only 6 or 7 plays, but after doing all the video editing and watching through the games, these are my little plays of the week right here. Before we get to our standings, I want to give a shout out to my man PJ Glasser. PJ is my intern who helps me out, makes this show possible, does a lot of research for me, puts the standings together, lets me know what the best games of the week are so I can relay that to you guys. So I want to give a shout out to him. PJ actually plays for Richard Montgomery High School, and Richard Montgomery had an incredible week this week. We're going to start off, I've got highlights of their games. Richard Montgomery on Tuesday, they played Walter Johnson. And get this, Richard Montgomery was losing 43-32. They were down 11 points with 3 minutes left in the game. And they came back and won by 9 points. They went on a 24-4 run in under 3 minutes to get the win. So I'm going to show you a highlight. There was about a 1 minute stretch where they went on a 9-0 run. And I'm going to show you highlights from that right now. Unbelievable stretch of basketball for Richard Montgomery. Here come the plays from PJ. Now look at the score in the top left of the clock, in the top left of the screen. Then you'll see about 50 seconds worth of basketball. They scored 9 unanswered, and then they'll show the the score again at the end of the 50 seconds. There it is, guys. 9 points in 52 seconds. Richard Montgomery comes all the way back, outscores WJ 24-4 in the final 3 minutes. And if it couldn't get any better, the next game, Richard Montgomery, I believe they were playing Churchill. No, they were playing Sherwood. I'm sorry. They were playing Sherwood. And Richard Montgomery was down by 1 point with 6 seconds left. And this is what happened. Richard Montgomery won on that buzzer beater right there. So 2 unbelievable wins for Richard Montgomery. Thanks, PJ. I appreciate the work you do for us, and you guys are making highlights over there, Richard Montgomery. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go through the standings real quick. First up, we've got the Capital Beltway League. Now, the Capital Beltway has announced they will be having a postseason this year. It starts next week. I know they moved the championship game back a day. Initially, the championship game was supposed to be on the same night as the WCAC championship, and I think they made a very smart move in moving it back a night so basketball fans can go to both the Capital Beltway Championship and the WCAC championship. And we got 3 teams here who any of the 3 could end up in first place. Riverdale, National Christian, and Princeton Day, all up there towards the top. Now in the DCI AA in the Western Division, we've obviously got Roosevelt and Coolidge, and then Wilson and Dunbar, right there in the thick of things. They're over 500 in league play, but I think it definitely comes down to Roosevelt and Coolidge for the DCI AA West. Now we go over to the DCI AA East. Ballou kind of has that wrapped up, although McKinley could give them a run for it, followed by Spingarn, Woodson, and Acacia, Eastern, Phelps, and more. So that's the DCI AA East. If we head over to the MAC, as everyone knows, Murray undefeated in MAC play, 21-2 overall. Sidwell Friends, led by Josh Hart, 17-6. And then there's a bit of a drop-off underneath there, but, outside of Murray, any of these teams can win on any day. Maybe not Georgetown Day. They're having a tough year over there. Former Washington Bullet Michael Adams is coaching Georgetown Day, and they're having a rough one over there. Now we move over Montgomery 4A East. This is the best division in public schools in Maryland. I mean, you got a team, Springbrook, who was ranked in the post earlier this year, beat Magruder earlier this year, and they're in 5th place in the Montgomery County 4A East. Now, Paint Branch is in 1st place. Paint Branch and Magruder are the only 2 teams in Montgomery County to only have 2 losses each. And it just so happens those teams play each other tomorrow night at Magruder. Montgomery 4A South, we've got Churchill, Whitman, WJ, Richard Montgomery, BCC, and Wooten. Montgomery 4A West. Now this is, everyone used to think this was Magruder's, Magruder's to lose, but Quince Orchard's been having a solid year. Clarksburg beat Magruder a couple weeks ago. And then Northwest and Gaithersburg round out the division. Now in PG County, Potomac sits ahead of the ledger. Then Central and Largo are right there, followed by Crossland, Surrattsville, Douglas, Gwynn Park, Fairmont, and Forestville. BG4A, this is Eleanor Roosevelt's bracket to lose. They've had a phenomenal season all year, except for one minor hiccup, an overtime loss. Wise, Flowers, and Duval are, always good clubs. So this is PG4A. Now the WCAC. WCAC Gonzaga still undefeated in league play. I believe Gonzaga and Murray and Theodore Roosevelt, all 3 of those schools are undefeated in league play in the District of Columbia. So Gonzaga, O'Connell number 2, you can see those teams play next Sunday night in a rematch of their games last week. Paul VI, 3rd, St. John's, 4th, DeMath of 5, McNamara 6, Ireton, Good Counsel, Riken, and Carroll. Last thing I'm going to do before we part ways, I'm going to go over some of the big games this upcoming week. If there are, if you're a high school basketball fan, you're thinking about going out to a game, we're just going to go over what the good games are this coming week. Tomorrow, maybe one of the biggest days of the year. Yes, the year in high school basketball around here. Paint Branch Magruder. That's the game that we'll be at. 7 p.m. game. 2 best teams in Montgomery County. Senior night for Magruder. Last home regular season game for Nick Griffin, J.J. Epps, Justin Whitmer. Also tomorrow night, St. John's Gonzaga and O'Connell DeMatha at the WCAC. And then in the district, Coolidge Roosevelt. Huge game. Top 2 teams in the DCI AA West. 7 p.m. game tomorrow. And then another huge game tomorrow. It's up in Baltimore. 5 p.m. is Dunbar versus City. These are 2 of the top 3 public schools in Baltimore. And that's a 5 o'clock game. Now Wednesday, kind of a light night. Wednesday, Ballou plays National Christian. And Montrose plays Cesar Chavez. I can't see either of those games being too close, but you'll be able to see some good ball players and some good talent in those games. Thursday, we've got the Potomac School versus Murray. Murray trying to go for an undefeated MAC school. Potomac stands in the way. Duval plays Suitland. Good PG County game. And Coolidge plays Wilson. Another very good DCI AA game. Now, last week, Roosevelt only beat Wilson by 2 points. So Wilson is definitely a team that's in the mix there. Now, Friday night, we got tons of good games Friday night. Princeton Day plays at Riverdale. Magruder plays at Sherwood. St. John's at Paul VI. DeMatha McNamara rematch. If you remember 2 weeks ago, we showed you highlights of Stefan Jiggets from McNamara hitting the game winner against DeMatha. Revenge will be on the mind of the Stags. And then another huge game in Baltimore City Friday night. Edmondson and Patterson. 5:30 p.m. That's Akil Carr's high school of last year. Patterson won the state championship. One of their better players from last year, Myreek Folks, transferred to Edmondson. So, and now Edmondson's coming back to play at Patterson. So it will be interesting. Friday, let's see here. Also Friday, Gonzaga, O'Connell, this is Sunday, I'm sorry. Gonzaga, O'Connell, and Paul VI, DeMatha. Those are the big games on Sunday. And then Saturday, there's a big tournament at Northwestern High School. Things get kicked off at 2 p.m. Friendship Collegiate versus Montrose. Then the Miller School, where Andrew White, he plays for Kansas University. That's where he went to school last year. They play Riverdale. Princeton Day plays Benedictine. They're down from Richmond, Virginia. Benedictine's coach for the last couple of years is now the current coach at St. John's here in the district. And then the nightcap is maybe the best game all season long between a Baltimore team and a DC team. Theodore Roosevelt will be playing the Dunbar Poets. Dunbar is having a phenomenal year. They've got an incredible little guard in Daxter Miles. I touched on him a couple weeks ago. He is an electric combo guard. He's got offers from Miami, some other, Big Ten, ACC schools. So that should be a phenomenal game. And then, like I said, on Sunday, Gonzaga, O'Connell. That game is 5 p.m. That game will be at Bender Arena. And Paul VI DeMatha play at 6 p.m. So that's what I got for you this week, folks. We'll be back next week, next Monday night, 10:30. We'll have interviews. We'll have highlights. Maybe someone can actually get the trivia question right next week. I'll tell you what. I'm actually going to leave the trivia question open. I know a lot of you people watch this show on delay and don't watch it live. I know it's a little late for some of you. So the first person who tweets me the correct answer throughout the week, I'll say by Friday, first person to text me the correct answer by Friday will win the prize. We'll have new trivia next week, highlights, updated standings, and playoff time is right around the corner, folks. So, if you have any film of games out there that you'd like to see on this show, if you're a parent and you filmed a game and you want to get the highlight on the show, feel free to email me or Twitter me, and I can definitely make that happen for you. Thanks again, everyone. This is Marc Stern, president of Capital Hoops, and until next week, have a great week.